goes.
The yoga stock pose. The yoga stock pose. All right, guys. Is everybody chill? Looks like you're all chill. You've done some yoga. And this is Darren with Arbitrage Trade, and this is After the Bell. It is After the Bell on Wednesday. And my guests are Daniel Hopwood, who is the ex-institutional wealth manager. And Josh is not here. We do pray for him and his family, which are actually down in Florida where the hurricane is coming through. And hopefully that he doesn't lose anything there, or anyone for that matter, as it just tears across the middle of Florida. It's not going to be the happiest place on earth at Walt Disney today. That's for sure. Or actually, overnight. I'm the resident advisor. No, I'm not an advisor. I am the. I only advise apes. No, I'm just kidding. I don't advise anybody. But I am the resident ape here, and I live in the basement of my parents' home. Evidently, according to Gasparino. Is Gasparino still around? Anybody watch Fox anymore? I don't know.
Anybody watch CNN anymore?
I don't know. MSNBC, they're all just...
They're all the same.
All right, so let's get this started. First of all, we'll tell you, even though I just tried to say differently, we are not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. This information is surely for educational and entertainment purposes only, and I can't talk. Please always consult an investment professional before making any financial decisions. So let's be entertaining here. And the Institute was so happy. The Institute was so happy to say this next phrase, which is, it's going to be a good year. So he is reading right off those bullet points. So tell me why is this going to be a good year there, Daniel? And
yes, so
there he is.
Oh, am I back?
We froze for a second. And we're back.
Go ahead.
So Q4 is typically the best quarter for the stock market since 1950. So it raises on an average 80% of the time, and it averages 4.2% in Q4. So, Darren, if you were worried about your recession starting now, don't worry. I have like 6 more statistics about why the banks think you're wrong.
You don't make me open up the Fred reports and tell you why you're wrong. That bubble that's going to explode someday.
Hey! I'm just reading from the teleprompter, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Goldman Sachs.
He's listening to us in one ear, and he's got Goldman Sachs in the other. Just kidding. Royce, what do you think? Is this heading towards? And I know you refer to the charts, but just off the top,
always.
We're going to do the charts a little bit later, but go ahead.
So I think this is it, meaning this is the top.
Okay.
And the reason I am saying this,
like is, right now or about
like
to be?
Right now, the Qs where they're currently sitting, 494 is the absolute top. Mark my words.
Okay, and you have that. You have that indicator.
For SPY, it's 479.
Okay.
Right. Well, and I'm not sure if you guys remember us talking about this maybe about 7 or 8 months ago when I'm like, hey, if it gets up to this number, and it has, basically we're running out of probability on our monthly time frame. And you know how the mean line of each one of our bands basically decides if we're going to do anything? Well, this is the first time on our monthly chart the candles have actually gotten up to the mean line of the apocalypse band in the history of the ETF. Wow. So, and the dollar just crossed over that line, which means there's a huge dollar rally that should be coming as the market falls. So let's see if it happens. Many multi-years, many things, many great things for the dollar are coming. Many bad things for the U.S. markets are coming, both in technology and the S&P 500.
So like Goldman says 6,300 and some others say 6,000 to 6,300 in that little range.
This is it.
And he says no.
Quite literally where we are. And I can show you once we get to the crayon section.
Okay.
Why I think that.
Yeah.
That would be good. S&P is at almost 5,800. NASDAQ is 18, basically 18.3. Both of those are up about 0.6 and 0.7. And then the Dow, yes, I'm looking at it. It's not off the top of my head, but the Dow is at 42.5. And they had the biggest rally today, which is over 1%.
Let me
And
actually
we'll
go
talk
look
about
at that.
And Bitcoin, by the way, is under 61.
So what I'm
now.
hearing is no soft landing.
No soft landing. Matter of fact, an abrupt about face.
You know, I saw a report today. It was probably on CNBC. I mean, who else? And they even went as far as to go to this lake that was outside, and evidently there was 2 black swans in that lake. And then they proceeded to say that in Asia it is good luck to have black swans in those lakes.
Of course it
Oh,
is.
wow.
Of
And I had
course it
maybe that's
is.
what's wrong with my keyboard, Royce, is because I threw up all over it and there's chunks everywhere in the little cracks and stuff. Maybe that's why it won't work.
That's why I won't. Right?
That's right.
I know we'll get to China, but that was definitely pretty accurate on their end.
Man,
I'm not
so
saying,
tired of the narratives twists, spins.
I'm not
Yes.
saying I want to see the Dow Jones back at 20,000 points, but hey, it'd be nice.
We got to clean house before we move back up, right? I mean, that's just, we got to do that. We have not done it really.
I mean, how do you clean out a 401k like that?
Yeah. I mean, but they've been given a chance to do something. I mean, he got pumped like crazy over the last the Yellen months.
Yeah.
Call it Yellen and Powell months, where they just have pumped those suckers back up.
They've been yelling. We've been listening.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Yeah, we'll see that chart a little bit later. We'll move on to AI again, like we haven't heard that enough either. We're going to talk a little bit more about AI and what's defined as AI, because they're basically including everything in that term of AI. But specifically, you had some figures about open AI, right, Daniel?
Yeah,
I heard they raised a few dollars.
Yeah, so they raised 6.6 billion at 157 billion valuation, which makes them one of the top valued private companies, right along with like SpaceX. And just to I think we've kind of talked a lot about that narrative potentially dying down and how it actually plays out in the stock market. We'll see. But the Palantir CTO is on CNBC and he said they're printing money, right? They jumped 6% on that. And the NVIDIA CEO said the Blackwell chip, he's really hyping it up, saying it's just crazy.
Right.
And, where NVIDIA is in a little nice position to make some kind of move one direction or another coming up. And I believe I even saw one of the other chip makers jumped up 15% because they were doing so well and selling into data centers. And so I just wonder,
quite literally, I was going to talk about that in a little bit. It's absurd.
Data centers is a biggie right now.
Yeah. So I wonder if this is one of those things where it's just going to keep ripping. They can stay crazy longer than we can stay solvent with this one.
I like crazy is definitely the word. And what I'm hearing though is just to keep rehashing the same things they've been saying, and they might just apply it to a different. They'll wait and then apply it to a different industry just so they can rehash AI and then say again, hey, buy this, buy this, buy this. I mean, I still say it's going to go the way of EV eventually. And again, just like the tech or the .com bubble, there will be those that will fall away and fall out. And I think almost all of them are still staying in the game right now. So eventually those will fall out, and still you're going to have overvaluations. And so when you have a black swan event, that's where they always go. They always go to those big ones. That's where they've got all the money, and that's where they will pull that money back, in my opinion. But I'm a dumb ape. Okay, Royce, you were going to say something?
Well, I've been doing a little bit of research. These data centers, these cloud, these AWS, these Azures, these digital oceans. Do you know how much they are renting video cards for per hour? Per hour, not per month, not per day, per hour. The average price, $47 per hour. So it means just setting up your environment.
That's pretty expensive.
You spent about $300 to get basically all the software on there configured before you even go to pitch or whatever you're going to be doing with AI, right? I think they're basically making the barriers to entry extremely high. But guess what? All these people who had cryptocurrency miners, all you technically need is a Comcast, an Xfinity, maybe even a Starlink, and a video card, and you can rent out your own hardware, undercut them, and hey, boom, side hustle.
Well, it needs to be some competition for sure.
Because I'm like,
I mean,
literally,
that's capitalism.
the T100 only costs about $1,100, $1,200. And if you can rent it out at $30 to $40 per hour, okay.
Do we need to expand? We need to expand our server room, Royce.
You do know I have at least 6 miners in the closet.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah. So turn them on. Let's make money, baby.
You heard it here first. All right. Let's move on to China, because we just talked about earlier. But in this case, you want to talk about tariffs and EVs and stuff like that, right, Daniel?
Yeah, so the EU finally slapped a tariff on Chinese EVs at 45%.
Yep.
And I've heard anecdotally of people in Asia, people in Europe, half the cars are Chinese cars, right? Because they can buy them for half the price. And they did this. We said we were going to do 100%. And I'm sure you guys saw it, that their stocks just tumbled back from the pump they had the other day when stimulus was announced. And it just makes me wonder if things are just not looking the way everyone thought they were 2 days ago.
It's not the way I thought that. I said that was a bunch of BS.
Sell the news. Sell the news. Don't buy it.
I said that was a bunch of BS pump, and I even go as far as to say that, hey, I mean, we sure have had a lot of administration go over there, right? In the last 6 months or so, and little conversations to be had. I mean, to me, this whole event was planned with Yellen and we can't say administration, the communist government over in China, and they're working together to pump markets up and down. And even when that whole stimulus came out with China, there were a lot of people that said it wasn't the right type of stimulus that was needed over there. So I think that's what we're finding out, that, yeah, that's true. It's not.
I can believe that.
How about you, Royce?
Yeah. Looking at China, there's a lot coming for China. There's a lot that basically, I honestly think, overall, I do think this is the beginning of a brand new bull market for China.
It has to be. Yeah.
Basically, they've been on pause since literally almost 2021. Right. Yep. So basically just falling and falling and falling. You can look at the ticker YINN and basically look at it is, I think, 3 times what the Chinese market is. That's an ETF that we have on our side, and it's been falling. Mm-hmm. Well, recently on our monthly time frame, it issued in a brand new bull market. So let's see what happens with China and all these stocks like PDD, Baba, all these basically different companies out there that have the potential to have really big gains over the next few years, especially as the election comes to a close and we finally get a result that should allow us to get back to business as normal and allow this new bull market to start rampaging through the China shop that we call the U.S.
That's right. So it's not a matter of if, it's just when, because the charts say so.
The chart said it is time, it's poised, it's in the right position.
Exactly.
All we have to do is execute.
Yeah. Yes. We're not saying do that, but we're saying that is what we see.
Yes.
And you said that yen is the one to look at, and it's basically predicting what's about to happen. We just don't know the time frame necessarily. Okay.
On the monthly time frame, correct.
Gotcha. All right. So and that's what we also had as notes. It's just the certain stocks that went way up and now they're back down again. So next thing, crypto, Bitcoin is under 61. It keeps doing its crazy thing between 55 and 63-ish, 64-ish, I guess. Just going off of memory here. Royce, are we mid crypto cycle right now? What's going on? I know we got the end of Bitcoin coming up as far as making them. So what's about to happen here? I mean, I know we talk about this a lot, but we're going to bring it up again.
Yeah. So like with the last of the cryptocurrency being mined, all of that hardware that has literally almost 22 years worth of mining from the different ants, like 16, 17, all the way up to, I think they're up to 25, 26 or something. Those are the Bitcoin miners. And the Ethereum miners, when they went from proof of stake to proof of work to proof of stake, it's basically has made a landscape that basically all its hardware is now out of use. Well, what are you going to do with all those teraflops? That basically, you made a market for AI to just step in and say, guess what? We can still use this hardware, but over here doing that. Because I'm like, imagine a Bitcoin miner doing AI work. It's more than possible. It has the cycles to do it. So I do think a marriage between AI and crypto is coming somewhere along this path. We just got to see who's going to have the best synergies with it to make it work seamlessly. I even seen documentaries and YouTube videos on how to convert miners to AI and then basically market it, basically sell cycles on it.
Makes sense.
Literally, an Ethereum miner that used to make you about $200, $300 a month and use up a whole bunch of electricity can make you $500 to $600 a month just answering questions from random people on the internet.
Gotcha. And it will. There's enough power in those to do that.
There's enough power, and basically
do just the simpler things that AI does, right? Not
you
not the
made
hard.
something that was not profitable, electricity-wise, very profitable,
right? And
you're also helping other people to create things. So, yeah, it's a win-win for everybody.
Okay, recycle. So of course the funds are saying that, and we're getting that verbal pump continuously on crypto because we know that they have a lot of money tied up in it now. What's this FTX payment you're talking about, Daniel?
Yeah, so the people who had money in FTX when it collapsed, they're getting I don't think it's
settlement
technically all of it. Yeah, I don't think it's technically all of it because it's not like they have the individual coins, but at whenever things were recovered, they're getting that particular market value back, which is at least something. And it's funny, as I was sitting here looking at my notes of why we could potentially see a crypto rally, I part of it is that there's kind of not a lot of interest in the US as a whole, at least on kind of the retail side. There's interest in the ETFs, but apparently a lot of the on-chain activity is coming from Asia. But I don't know if you guys saw this. HBO is about to release a documentary of potentially unmasking Satoshi, which is really just going to be speculation. Right? I highly doubt they have definitive evidence. What?
The Satoshi, because the Satoshi is basically breaking Bitcoin into smaller denominations, is it not?
No. Like the founder.
How about the person.
Oh, they're actually gonna. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
What I was reading is that they're just kind of pinning it on one guy, but no one has any definitive evidence. I mean, who knows when it comes out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that could be a nice little indicator of the bottom where you see a next little rip from it because people are like, oh, let me go look at that Bitcoin thing again.
Yeah,
what bottom?
Bitcoin Cash. If you can't have the Bitcoin, get the little one.
What bottom? We've been pumping forever. So it's not a. I mean, I don't know.
If you go up too fast,
I'll bet that Netflix.
Netflix.
I'll bet that Netflix was funded by BlackRock. If we look back and you see, it's just because that's the way they're going to try to fund the next pump through Netflix. All right, I want to see I want to see the money trail. All right, so that's enough on Bitcoin. Let's move on to your next one, which is Spirit. Which you're talking about airplanes now, I think. So yeah, it's down to talk about penny stock. I mean, is it? Last I saw, what was it, under $3? What is it?
Well, if you have to stand in line on the plane because you don't get a seat, your stock deserves to be $3.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously now the funds have had their shorts in, and now they're going to want to bankrupt it so that they can get all that money back. So I'm sure that's what's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's going to happen so the funds can get their money back.
You don't have to do that. You honestly don't have to do that for them to get their money. They just can go private. If they go private, then they have to basically allow everyone that's short. So we can do this the nice way or the easy way.
That's true. I guess it'll depend on who twists their arm, which way to go on that one, or which one will make them the most money. Obviously, that's going to be the problem. That's going to be the determining factor there. So what else you say? You said that, Daniel, you said that.
Oh yeah, so I mean, they had a failed merger.
Other airlines, okay.
JetBlue. I think the FTC wouldn't let it go through, and so now they're facing bankruptcy, which is not great by any means, because they have about $1 billion of debt coming due next October. But this also isn't anything new for airlines. Delta and a handful of others have gone through bankruptcy, and they always come out of it the other side. The only difference is Spirit sucks, and at least now Delta rocks. It's just one of those things where I always wonder, I'm like, why can't airlines make money? You just always hear about them not making any money. It's like Delta is one of the biggest credit card issuers.
Hold on, I got a gripe.
Uh-oh.
Specifically about airlines. Have you seen the price of airline tickets leaving the Florida area, North Carolina, South Carolina area, avoiding the hurricane? Economy tickets, $2,000 per seat.
Yep, it's supply and demand, but
they are gouging.
It is gouging, yes.
It's like, oh, how can we make money? Don't hurt the people who are trying to get to safety. Help them get there.
Well, I'm sure the government would say, okay, you can charge $2,000, but we'll give you guys $1,500 and look like a hero, so they'll eventually get into that socialized air flight eventually. But what I'm just conspiracy theory. But no, I mean, Harris today did say that the gas down there is also expensive, and the hotels, etc.
Hotel rooms,
and that they're gouging that as well. And she gave out a little, almost like it was like a threat or something. I don't know, about gouging people that are, just trying to get to safety. So, I mean, I get it.
And did you see the thing with FEMA? FEMA basically confiscating goods so they can distribute them.
Oh, we could talk all day, as you know, Mr. Conspiracy Theory here, but we could talk all day about North Carolina and basically, taking, it won't let people help.
I'm just adding fuel to the fire. I'll stop.
Now you're getting me all up. And they won't let drones fly over because they don't want people to see what's going on. I mean, there's just and they're blocking off roads and not letting people in to help people out. There's something weird going on there. And BlackRock, see, you're bringing it out. BlackRock wants those mines
Darren, I think you
that are over there in North Carolina.
I think you need to leave your parents' basement and touch grass.
Man. But I mean, they're and we didn't know about this thing until about 2 weeks ago, or actually it was right after Helene went through there, about this mine that was specifically for EV products or batteries or something like that. That's over there. I forget what it was now, but
I'll tell you also
lithium. It's a lithium.
Another spooky thing that I basically someone in the office pointed out. He's like, he asked Siri, how many casualties have there been from Milton? And Siri already has numbers, and it hasn't made landfall yet.
Oh wow! I am not surprised.
Did you say asking Siri?
Yeah. Like, how many
Siri
casualties?
Sucks.
Huh?
Ask ChatGPT that question. I said Siri sucks. I don't trust anything Siri says anyway.
No, ask Grok 2. Grok 2 is
if you told me your perplexity said that, I would be concerned.
All right.
Oh, jeez. Well, I don't trust any reports that come out from anywhere. So, look at this. We have a nice segue into the next one, which is about the jobs report. Oh boy, yeah. This is another thing that do not put your trust and faith in, is the jobs report, as has been put on display lately. and you want to talk about it, I guess. And that's right. Institutions love to say that. So go ahead, Daniel. Talk about how great this jobs report is, and
so
we're going to have a no landing, not even a soft landing, but a no landing. Right? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, party's going to be on forever. So we added 254,000 jobs this last month,
Right.
and which is way better than the 140,000 that we were expecting, right? So it's like just a little under double. And then they had revised the August jobs report up 17,000 jobs.
Sure, of course.
And unemployment fell 1%.
Sure.
And now you got to wonder if Powell cut too early.
Oh yeah, okay, there we go. But that it would make me very happy that he has to raise the rates again. I would love that. I would relish that.
There's zero chance that happens.
The wrong decision.
Don't hold your breath.
It's all planned anyway. It's not a decision to be made. It's already mapped out. All right. And I'm not talking about the dot plots either. I'm talking about it is just all conspiracy theorists. Yes, it is. Everything that's happening right now is already planned out, and all we're doing is executing. And no one's going to stop them.
We're in the matrix.
No one is going to stop them. Can I please get out? Is this Tron?
Nope, not today. Well, for a fee.
That's right. Let me out. And this is not a ride on Disney. Let's go on to now we can do the crayons. What are you going to talk about there, Royce?
I don't know.
After the bell with crayons and charts with Royce. Yes.
All right, let me go on there and find something to talk about. Let's see. Hey, sure. Let's go pick on Amazon.
All right, hold on. Let me get us all up in there. That didn't sound bad. Let's do this here. All we're looking at right now, if you're looking at the on the video, it just shows Daniel's face on there. Because when you went out and back in, Royce, your video did. Yeah, there you go. Oh, we just covered your face up. Now it looks a lot better. Let's go.
Hey, let's go. Hey,
we got Amazon now.
Amazon. So Amazon is probably having a double top, is what we're seeing in here. So basically, the first top was somewhere around between 2020 and 2021. This is our weekly chart. So basically, we went outside our apocalypse band to that red line. Basically, we're not supposed to live outside there. And right now, from where we are, it looks like we're having a little bit of a double top with a red X saying, hey, we're going to be going down. And this is a weekly chart. Arbitrage has known for about 3 weeks since Amazon is about 195. It's down to 185 currently trying to hold the line. But there's a little bit of turbulence. This purple line that we're seeing on our weekly chart is our orbit line. It's sort of like a canary in a cave. So it means if you're holding Amazon and you see it touch that 145 area, you have one of two things that can happen. It can either hold that line. If it holds that line, and basically you'll see it holding, you'll get a green X and it'll bounce. But if it breaks through that line, then basically the next line of support is about 106. So that's almost a 50% haircut. And since this is a weekly chart, that should roughly take about 3 to 4 months. So somewhere maybe around inauguration, Amazon may be about 105. Back to you guys.
All right, that was Crayons and Charts with Royce.
Purple Bear.
Is it just that's me? Are you not seeing that same pattern, that double topping pattern on so many things right now?
You are leading the witness.
I feel like even over the past things that you put up there. Listen to me, Judge. I feel like I've seen that pattern a lot, especially in these big stocks. So I could be wrong. Even the same time frame, right? I mean, I don't
know. SPY basically made a higher high off of it, but it is very close to the top. If you just want to look at that, so
that's what I'm. Okay, hang on. Let me pull over there. All right, go ahead.
You got to think about how much.
All right, so you see it. So the other thing is on the monthly time frame. This is what I was telling you guys about a little bit earlier. There's a red line that basically depicts where we are and how we're going to get there. Let me make sure that I turn that on. I think it was this time frame. Let me see. Maybe it was advance. I don't recall. But no, I think it had to be Apocalypse Man. I was looking at this just a little bit earlier, and I was seeing that. Let me see. Let me find. Q. There was a red line that was showing up. That's what it was. That basically says, "Hey, we're not where we think we are, and it's only going to get worse from here." So we're nearing like there's that top where it rode, and then it rode again. But from where we are and what we're seeing, it's set to be extremely ugly. Looking back at was it Baba? Just to give you a couple of birds.
Hey, while you're here, Royce, let's go ahead and just the winner was the guy in Florida.
Me. I won. Not that Josh guy.
You sound like an election denier.
Josh, let's talk about that for a bit. Speaking of Florida, so he's in Florida. He's in the heat of the matter, and he is the winner this week for Baba. And we'll bring up that scorecard in a minute. But since we are talking about Baba, I figured I'd go ahead.
So this is the monthly chart for Baba. Notice that arbitrage band is sitting at the very bottom of that band. And basically, it's going back to retest as the compass tries to push over. I want to see where this end of October ends. If we basically make it back down to $91 range, I am expecting a multi-month, if not multi-year rise on Baba after the election. Because right where we're sitting, we're poised to do so. Literally, it's been sitting in this dollar range for almost 3 years. So the fact that it's finally making a move to the upside, it's long overdue.
Wow, it'll be interesting to see what event is planned to justify that.
But also looking at China bull market times 3, right? It's sitting at the exact same spot. So China is literally poised to make a run for it. Looking at PDD, also, PDD is already in a bull market, and it's currently doing pretty okay. And right now, it's trying to push its way back above. I think it's above, or is it just barely below? No, it looks like it's just barely below. So if it can make one more little push, there's a good chance that basically a lot of these Chinese stocks should be able to lift themselves up after we get rid of the uncertainty of the U.S. presidency and get back to business as usual. So good things are coming. And I'm not sure if you saw the video from Sunday, Deja new bull market. Basically, I'm calling a new bull market for China, not necessarily for the U.S., but I'm sure that the U.S. should benefit somewhat from this market going up in China.
All right. So, I mean, things are just going to get more intense in general worldwide, and especially here in the U.S. And I do think Santa will have his sleigh because it is sponsored by BlackRock and State Street and Vanguard. So that sleigh, and I think like Larry Fink is actually one of the reindeer. So every year we know what's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. Do they do it early December, mid-December, late December, and then what are going to be the news cycles that justify those? So it'll be interesting to see because then we'll know who the new president is, and then of course in January is when they start with their presidential directions, executive orders, which may or may not make things change and happen, at least temporarily anyway. So you heard it here. China bull market maybe as early as December, but at least at the beginning of next year.
Definitely by January the 20th. Definitely by January the 20th, we should see a brand new bull market for China.
Okay.
And with the yen going down, but with the yen recovering too, Japan should be right there with them.
True. Do you think they've gotten rid of the rest of the carry trade by then? Or they're just going to let everything blow up?
More than likely.
Just let everything blow up before the year end, and then everybody get their tax savings, blah, blah, blah.
Happy New Year.
That's right. We might have to have extra tequila on December 31st. All right. So just to show the scorecard, though, it is now Apes 2, Institute 1, Royce 2. So, I mean, it's close. It's tight. Josh was the winner, as you can see.
Has decided to back the quants, and we have said we got 3 points. You got 2.
Yeah, I'm actually a fund of funds.
Oh, yeah, I know you are. Yeah.
Yeah, so I invest in
they all work
one of
together.
the other funds.
This is real life. They all work together against the apes. So I mean, we're just basically showing real life here.
No.
He's an equal opportunity. It's like when you're winning, he's with you, and I'm winning, he's with me.
I know. We never win because those two work together. We never win.
So, I'm what we call a championship chaser in sports.
Right?
I root for whatever team Tom Brady's on.
Yeah. Oh, gross. And so they're out there. Remember when it was Occupy Wall Street?
Gross.
Yeah, gross. I'm a Raiders fan. That was definitely a fumble. It was not a tuck of the football. The year we should have won the whole thing in the playoffs. But I'm not bitter, and I've totally forgotten all about it. So it's quants working with the institutes against the apes. Nice. We now know that. So I'll have to pull for Josh when I don't win. That's awesome. So let's go back. Now, we have a new thing, though, here. This is kind of new. The winner is not here this week. They're not represented. So we will take, I guess each of us will throw in a stock we think we want to see for next week. Josh did not put one for us. So, but we need to decide one now. So I'm going to say it needs to be some kind of oil stock. I want to see, I don't know what ZOM.
WTI USD, WTIO USD, West Texas.
Just specific to that?
I just was picking one out of the.
Yeah. I mean, that's a suggestion. We all three can throw in something, and then we'll just decide what we do. But I think it'll be interesting to see what this.
Oh, this is interesting. Yeah. This is a weekly, so it looks like there is going to be a rally on oil in the near future.
Yeah. Which would make sense.
Do you know which one you want to play with? Oh, wow. All features is up to 73. That's impressive.
Yeah. And see, the problem with this when picking these is like what's going to happen in a week, not what's going to happen in a couple of months. So anyway, that's my vote. I mean, you guys can pick something different or a different industry or whatever.
I want to make sure that we have range on it. That's all I care about.
Right. Here's Brent.
USO, United States Oil Fund. No. Little range.
Tight channels. Like everything they try to control.
Like
tight
about
channels.
250. Yeah, this one has a pretty good channel. USO.
Yeah, it would be patriotic.
Right? So $80 down to 64 or 66.
That's not much at all. 80 to 66. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Okay. So that's about $14 channel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or we can make it nice
even
and easy.
15 or 16. Make $4 channels. 12
or 15 or let's see, divided by 4. Yeah, 12 or 16. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's make it there. So 16.
82.
So 82 to 66. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And I guess Daniel goes first. We'll just defer to whoever's lowest. To see if we go by now that you guys have teamed up, we can't do that anymore.
Oh, sure we can. Go ahead, Darren. Pick your
All right.
word.
No, go ahead, Daniel. What you got? I'll go after Daniel.
So is 82 to 66 is the range?
Yeah, 66, and there's $4 per. So 82 down to 78, 78 down to 74, 74 down to 70, and then 70 to 66.
All right, I'll take the upper.
So you're gonna take the highest 82 to 78?
70.
So 78 plus.
Yeah. Yes.
78 plus, and I will take right below that. I'm 74 to 78.
Okay. Then I guess I'm going to do 70 to 74.
I had a feeling. All right. And then below 70 is what is what the banker gets. All right. Okay. You hate to punish him because of Mother Nature, but I mean, business is tough. He doesn't have feelings, right?
Not at all. Not
Tough
at
what
all.
happens when you
Unless you're
don't
an
show up
ape.
for work.
Unless you're an ape, I
Hey.
guess. He doesn't have feelings. All right, guys, let's wrap this up and move on. Try not to watch too much of the Weather Channel tonight because I know I probably will. Just to, I'm like a lot of the country. I just like to watch the intensification, and it's just kind of like watching a wreck. Jeez, it's terrible. I know. But again, if pray for those guys. The path is straight through the middle, so let's pray for everyone there, and then we need to pray for our nation as we get close to. We're less than a month away from elections.
Let's go.
And what might happen before or after that. All right.
Don't pick the left. Don't pick the right. Let's just go straight up the middle.
Man, I'm for
the
just
right idea.
You know what? I'm just saying that we need to elect a whole new everything. Just everybody's fired. That sounds like Trump now. Everybody's fired, and we start over with a whole new Senate, a whole new everything, and maybe we'll be better off. All right. Anyway, this is not an election show. Let's say goodbye, everybody. We will see you guys next week. Take care. Have a good weekend. Namaste. Namaste. Bye.
Bye.